Hello, I'm your psychological mentor, Park Seni. So everyone, what do you think is the fastest way to succeed? Aren't you really curious about the quickest, super speed way to succeed? As people get older, they naturally try to find shortcuts more and more. As our time on earth decreases and we live within the limits of a finite life, we become anxious and impatient if we don't achieve results quickly, and we find it hard to endure or bear it. That's why, as we get older, accomplishing something becomes increasingly difficult in many ways. No matter how impatient you may feel, I believe it's actually right to solidify your fundamentals and walk the proper path. Nevertheless, if you still want to succeed quickly, then just follow what I say. Let me explain how you can do that. I've already explained the definition of success and related aspects in detail in my previous videos, so please make sure to check those out again. Of course, what it means to be successful is different for everyone, but when I talk about success, I always mean being in a state of deep focus and immersion when doing my work, and being able to bring others into that state as well, so that they lower their sense of criticism and resistance and end up feeling extremely grateful to me, even saying things like "thank you for being born." I've said that being able to hear such words from others is what I consider success. But when people talk about success, they usually mean making money, and it seems like that's what most people focus on. So I'll explain the fastest way to achieve that kind of success, specifically clear financial success. It might sound like I'm about to say something grand or elaborate, but in reality, it's quite simple. If you really want to succeed quickly, you just need to do things that others can't do well, accomplishing things that others aren't good at. If you prove yourself by doing things that others don't even dare to try, or things that are hard for others to even imagine, then from that point on, especially in this era where technology is so advanced through YouTube or other media platforms, the things you do that others can't will get noticed. If you share the story of how you accomplished something amazing in a way that others can truly feel it, that will probably be the fastest path to success. People will start coming to you asking about your secrets, your methods, and how you were able to do such things, or even think of them in the first place. That's why I also focus on doing things that others can't. Since my 20s, while others were choosing existing jobs, I created something new and became the best in the academy industry, and I'm still doing that. Likewise, even at the center, I focus on areas that others can't even imagine. Of course, this requires a certain level of boldness, but I also take on long-term projects to nurture great talents for the country. Because I dedicate myself wholeheartedly to these big causes, there are months like last month where I earned hundreds of millions of won in just 1 month. These are things that most people simply can't do. Because these are things that most people can't even imagine or dare to attempt, I've always believed that it's naturally my responsibility to take them on. In fact, I've been thinking this way and living with this mindset since I was much younger. That's why it's even written in my Kakao Talk status message. If you look at my Kakao Talk status, it says this: because others don't do it, I can. And even if others don't, I still will. I think that phrase really represents me well. Because others don't do it, I can. And even if others don't, I still will. With this kind of mindset, you really need to realize just how big of a mistake it is to expect to become wealthy by doing exactly the same things as everyone else. Things that others can hardly imagine or are unable to do. They just dismiss it as something they can do. But in reality, it's something you can do. Everything is possible. You can do anything. Even Admiral Yi Sun Sin accomplished incredible feats, things that seemed almost impossible, but with the right mindset and tremendous effort, those things were actually achievable. So know that everything is possible. However, because so many people say things can't be done, that belief seeps into your subconscious, and you end up assuming you can't do it even before you start. With the mindset that anything is possible, take on challenges that others find difficult or impossible. Then, quickly let others know about your achievements in a big way. If you do that, you too can achieve success quickly. And if you make good use of strategies like segmentation, which I mentioned in my videos, you'll be able to grow much faster than others. Now, I know that not many people fully understand my videos on the first watch. Those who read a lot of books might understand right away. But if reading hasn't become a solid habit for you, please make sure to watch the video several times. If you do, you'll understand and it'll be a great help to you. That's all for today. Please remember to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications. Always stay strong. Thank you.